Hey, do you know where we are? The studio? Well, this place doesn't even look familiar. What happened? What's up, geniuses? My name is Adrian Rivera, and welcome back to the road to 100,000 subscribers. The series where we document my journey from 8,000 to 100,000, and we are currently at 13,100. Woohoo! Thank you guys so much for subscribing. We just reached 13,000 not too long ago. The channel is growing. I am so excited. Another thing I'm excited for is the studio, and as you can see, a whole bunch has been done since last time you've seen the studio. So much more is going to be done, and I am so excited for it to happen. However, in order to move forward, we need to rewind back a little bit. So I'm super excited to show you what's been going on because there's so many things that we did to the shed that is amazing and I'm super excited for. However, one of the first things that we had to do was make sure that the AC/heater unit was working properly. So the thing about AC units is that they require a refrigerant to keep things cool, which is a liquid, and also they produce some liquid after making things cold. And because of that, you need to make sure that these pipes are airtight, vacuum sealed, and if they're not, there's gonna be leaks in your walls, which is what you do not want to happen. So what my dad has going on here is that he has this vacuum that's checking to make sure that we have a good seal on these pipes. From what I know, usually after a couple hours, the gauge will tell you if you have a good seal or not. However, we had this thing running overnight, and within that time frame, the gauge was good, so we know we have a good seal within the entire system. However, the moment of truth came when we had to turn on the AC and heater unit to see if it actually worked.
Turning it on.
I can feel like air. I don't know if it's from the door. Let's close the door real quick. Oh yeah, there's air coming out of there. It's crazy quiet. And you're not gonna hear that from anywhere.
That is so quiet.
So we did it. Everything was working properly. The heater and the AC unit is all good, but in order to show you a little better visual representation, my dad actually has a infrared camera that can show where the heat is coming from. This is a camera that he has from work because he does a lot of electrical stuff. That's his job. And luckily he had it here, so we used it, and you can see in the video that the heat is dropping down.
I want to see how cold the air coming out of there is. You see that heat leaving right there?
Yeah.
That's what we want to see, so we know the heat and cold is working. That's so awesome, so the yellow is just disappearing. We'll see how low it goes. Oh, my back hurts.
So now that we know that the AC/heater unit is working and everything is good to go, we can start the insulation. And the reason why you want to have insulation in a space like this, or any sort of structure really, is because it keeps all the air, cold or hot, inside while also not letting the outside temperature affect what's going on inside. So it's basically like a cooler. You're turning your room into a cooler. I guess that's basically what insulation means. And the type of insulation that we're using is spray foam insulation. Basically, it's a spray that'll expand into foam. The only problem with that is that it's not super great at absorbing sound. We just found this out recently. It helps with the sound. However, this stuff was expensive, and with the amount of money that we spent on this spray foam, we probably could have spent that same amount on something like soundproofing insulation. Soundproofing insulation is what they use in studios, and whatever sound that's trying to get in will probably not get in because that insulation is there to absorb that sound. We don't have that here, but it's not too big of a deal if I'm being honest. You don't really hear the outside too much. It's basically the same as my room, but I'm also planning on adding some acoustic treatment and some furniture, and we're also gonna be adding some insulation on the outside of the entire shed along with some more siding. So hopefully all of that helps with soundproofing. So here we are in the studio, and as you can see, we have almost all the insulation done. There's this little corner right here that doesn't have enough foam. Dang it. But the good thing is that we got some of that fiberglass insulation so we can put it there instead of the foam. But as you can see, these two different pieces of foam, well, these two layers of foam, I guess you can say, are different colors. Reason being is that we underestimated the amount of foam that we're gonna be needing. So my dad ended up having to buy more at Home Depot. Doesn't matter, nobody's gonna be seeing the insulation anyway because we're gonna be putting drywall very soon above it. But before we put the drywall, we gotta make sure that we scrape, if you could see, the floor, because some foam got on the flooring. It dried up, it cured on there. So we gotta make sure that it's all clear, and that is what I'm going to do right now. It's late at night, almost 9 o'clock, but the good thing is that we have light here now. So it doesn't matter what time of day it is, I can still work on the shed. And the cool thing is that since this insulation's here, it's actually kind of keeping it warm. So even though it's like 56 degrees outside right now, it feels pretty comfortable in here. I'm wearing a sweater too, obviously, but I don't feel cold. It's good. So I'm gonna jam out to some music, get started on scraping and sweeping the floor, and then I'll worry about bagging it and throwing it away another day. It's too late for that. So here I am in my car. I gotta go pick up some materials from my girlfriend's parents' house so that we can get this drywall up, and hopefully we can get it all done today. It's gonna be super awesome if we can, because boom, then the studio is one more step to completion. And man, I'm so excited for this. So dope. Let's go do it. So my girlfriend's parents have a truck, and they were able to help us get 19 pieces of drywall into the studio. My dad and I are by no means professionals, but he knows what to do, so we decided to do as much as we could that day. But because the studio is not in the shape of a box, it's more in the shape of a pentagon, it's a lot harder to get the drywall up because you have all these different weird angles that you have to make sure that you get the drywall in, and it's a little more time consuming. Now when me and my dad were doing this, we probably finished about 20 to 30% of the drywall. We tried to do as much as we could in one day. We got the drywall around 9 o'clock, and from there we started working up until 6. So we took a lot of time, and like I said, we're not professionals, so we don't know the best ways to get it done the fastest. We just try to do it as good as we possibly could, and I think we did a decent job on it. My girlfriend's dad could get this stuff done really fast because this is basically what he's done for over 40 years. So he told us if we didn't get it done in one day, feel free to call him and let him know so that he can come and help us out and finish the whole entire project. While my dad was at work, he was able to come over and help me finish the rest of the studio, and we got it all done in one day. And I didn't get any footage of that, but everything is completely finished, which is amazing, and I'm super happy about it. So all the drywall is finally done, and man, this place looks so cool, guys. I'm honestly just blown away how everything's coming together, and we've come so far too. It was a crazy thing. Like, I remember just starting off this build, there were shelves on the wall. I had to take down this huge like thing that was just hanging here. It was like another shelf, but it was weird. It was so weird. There was literally no drywall, no insulation, no electricity, no AC unit, no door. Literally, there was nothing here, and now it's coming together. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so cool when this is all done. I am so excited. Now my girlfriend's dad was able to help me finish this up yesterday, and I'm so grateful for that because man, we were able to get this whole wall done right here behind me. We were able to get this back, well, the front part of the studio all done too. And I said earlier, we had 19 pieces of drywall. Turns out we needed 20. So me and my girlfriend's dad had to go to the store, buy another sheet of drywall, but we didn't have the truck this time. So we had to cut the drywall at Home Depot, put it in my car, and bring it back in here. But luckily, there was enough space to bring it in, and we were able to finish it off. And man, it's so awesome. Just check this place out, guys. I mean, look, drywall is everywhere. Literally everywhere in the studio, and I couldn't be happier. This spot right here doesn't have any drywall because this is where the AC unit is mounted. However, this piece of wood is flush with the drywall, and whenever we get the taping done, that's gonna be covered. So you won't even know that there's a piece of wood there. It's just gonna look like the rest of the wall. And also, there's a lot of cracks everywhere. My dad has a friend that's really good at taping, and he's gonna help us out. He's gonna tape this entire studio, and once the taping is done, then the painting can get started. We'll paint everything, put in the flooring, put in the trimming, finish off the outlets, put in the proper chandelier, and once that's all done, we are going to be ready to move in. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we finish within the next month. I'm so excited. This is amazing, and I couldn't be happier with how this is turning out. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but you can kind of hear the outside noise coming in. It's not a huge deal because it's very faint. And like I said earlier, when I add an acoustic treatment and plus some furniture, it'll probably deaden the sound more. But man, overall, this is gonna be amazing. I really appreciate your guys' support. Seriously means a lot to me. I hope you are just excited as I am to get this done. This project's gonna be done real soon. But till then, if you wanna support me and the channel, feel free to join my Patreon down below. Everybody that becomes a patron is gonna get their name on a plaque that's gonna hang up in this studio once it's all finished. And that day is getting closer and closer, so make sure you join the Patreon. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate all the love and support. Till next time, don't be afraid to show your genius.